Welcome to today's episode of the AI Trailblazer Podcast. Today we have a very exciting guest. She is none other than Oksana, the founder and CEO at Intelswift. So, Oksana,
Hi.
it's a great pleasure to have you here with us on the call today. Let's start off a bit with yourself. What is your background and what led you to start Intelswift?
Definitely. Thank you, Bruce, for inviting me to the podcast. It's really nice to be here and share some experience. So, I'm Oksana Budz. I'm a co-founder of Intelswift, the AI customer service automation platform. Regarding my background, I have more than five, actually even 6 years in as business developer background. And I started my company, as I always say, out of necessity, because I was working on another company, building another company, and faced so many challenges in customer support. So then we came up with the idea of Intelswift, and here we are building AI customer service automation platform.
Got it. Yeah, let's go more into Intelswift. Could you share some more specifics as to how exactly does it help the customer?
Intelswift automates customer support across chat and voice, handling up to 80% of repetitive tasks. Our agentic AI spans from conversational AI agents to role-based AI agents, freeing reps to focus on complex issues. That means that we are giving not just one AI agent that's going to talk to your end users and answer the questions. We are giving the team, let's say, of a different AI agents that have different roles, and they can facilitate your work as a company, that can facilitate the work of any support rep across your company. So we are building an agentic AI platform, which is something new on the market.
Yeah, let's go more into your role as the co-founder and CBDO. What are your chief responsibilities, and then how does that fit into the bigger picture at Intelswift?
Absolutely. Well, that's a really nice but also tricky question about my responsibilities, because I believe that every startup founder just had a smile on the face, because whenever you are building your startup, you're juggling between so many different roles, and but you need to let's say to define one role when you're talking to people. So, well, as a founder, right, as a BDO, I'm trying to always find new ways how to grow the company. I'm always doing research. I'm always trying to stay ahead of trends and understand how to shift our company, how to shift the platform. So basically, I'm, a little bit of product, a little bit of strategy, a little bit of marketing, and then everything all together. So I think that's my role, and also sales. So let's say bringing everything together. That's how I drive the company.
Got it. Yeah, so like with any other startup co-founder, a little bit of everything, but yours is leaning more towards marketing.
Yeah, yes, my main responsibilities is, let's say, talking to clients or talking to potential clients, and talking to doing, for instance, custom interviews, right? Understanding the market needs, understanding, talking to people, and get insights what they really want. So that's my main responsibilities.
Got it. Yeah, then let's talk a bit about your goals for the company. Let's say for the next 6 to 12 months, where do you want Intelswift to be?
That's also a great question. Since we are developing so fast, I would say, if I will say like 6 to 12 months, our main goal is to find our sweet spot for a growth. Because right now we just launched the general access last March, and at the beginning we thought that, okay, now that's the time to grow. That's the time to scale, to find this scaling spot. And we got our first traction during this GA. But then I realized that right now it's not the best time to scale, because first we need to talk, we need to work with our first clients like one-on-one, really super close, gather feedback, gather insights, maybe fix some bugs. It always happens. Listen to feature requests and, and improve, build on the core that we already have. And after that, I realized that, and after that, after this, let's say, phase of working closely with first clients, we will be ready to scale, because after that we will have the platform that everybody gonna love, and it's going to be way faster to win new clients. So our goals are first to, let's say, to finish this phase with our first clients, get these successful cases, and then scale, and then find this scaling spot and growth.
Got it. Yeah, got it. Then when you say that you want to first, work successfully with the first customers before you make sure you can scale, what would be the matrix that you look for in order to gauge that it's a success and that you're ready to scale?
Well, I think that's first of all the feedbacks. So if we're talking about this part, how we understand that's the metrics. Well, when you have not, when you don't have thousands of clients, right, you still can track kind of manually, like every client. It's not like about like huge metrics or something. It's about happy customers, happy clients that are ready to talk about you, that say that Intelswift helped us do this, that, and that, improve our customer support department, help us solve these kind of pains. So building these successful cases, that's what we are doing right now, and that's how we're gonna track our success in terms of these first customers. More success cases we have, then it means that the better, the bigger is success for in terms of our first customers. But I'm not saying that we are not doing any outreach campaigns and we are just not doing any marketing or sales related campaigns. It's just we are not doing that to say in massive.
I see. Yeah, then since we're on that topic, can you share a bit more about what does your go-to-market look like right now?
So in terms of go-to-market, we have tried a lot of different channels, and I can say what actually works didn't work for us. Well, LinkedIn is really a working channel for us. LinkedIn outreach, also the content. So first, LinkedIn outreach. It is, let's say, working acquisition channel for us, but it also with the like a huge add-on is about content, because when you talk into someone, then and you, I think you hook attention, then the person is starting to look at the company page, and then when the company page, for instance, is empty, it doesn't give you any like a credibility. So that's why LinkedIn outreach with the content part is really a good acquisition tool. And I just said about content. So content, it's another, let's say, huge deal for us, because content, building content, great content, quality content, not just content for content or blog post for blog post. We are trying to get to build really quality content and to showcase the problems that we are solving for businesses. So when someone gonna go to any social media that we have, to any channels, right, they will understand what we are doing. They will understand what kind of problems we can solve for them. So it's going to be way easier than to talk when it comes to demo or a sales call. What didn't work for us, that's Google Ads, because it's not a startup thing, I would say. Why? Because for Google Ads, you need a lot of budget. And as a startup, you cannot afford that budget. You cannot win over your huge competitors. In our case, that's like Zendesk or Intercom. So that didn't work for us.
Okay.
And the last thing, what I can also add that is working at conferences, but here is also like what we do. We first I thought like, let's jump into any conference, any tech conference, whatever. But then I realized that we need to be more specific, let's say more picky, because not every conference gonna work for us. Some of them are just, even if it's like IT tech conference, like for instance Web Summit. A lot of people, huge traffic. but it's not a working case for us. As we realized, we need to pick really specific conferences that are built around customer support, are built around customer service theme, and these type of conferences that work for us. It's exactly where we can find our future customers and leads.
Yeah, makes sense. Then I wanted to circle back to a point that you touched earlier when it comes to the LinkedIn and your content strategies. What have been the best performing sort of content that you've seen that really resonated with your kind of target audience? And is there any particular LinkedIn outreach strategy you use to
Yes.
great success as well?
Well, I can say about 2 points. First one, it's webinars. So we understand that webinars, especially when it comes in partnership with customer support leaders or experts on the market, this kind of content is really great, even in terms of lead generation. And that's how, by the way, we ended up having our pilot with an enterprise client, a bank, which is a huge deal for a startup, right? To pilot with the enterprise, with banking sector, because that's the sector which is probably one of the securest ones, and that was because of the webinar with the expert. So we realized that this kind of channel, this kind of content, it's really working. And why? Because we are talking again about problems that we are solving for businesses. We are not saying that, hey, that's a webinar and you're going to know about Intelswift and how great this platform is. That was like, hey, that's a webinar and we're going to talk about your problems that you might face in customer service. And we're going to show you how we can solve these problems for you. So that's one thing. And another thing, it's what we see right now, because we are trying to test different ideas, different approaches in our content. And recently we discovered that content, when we are showing how easy our platform is, it also works, because a lot of people are still in this discovery, I would say, mode, when they don't feel that AI agents are easy to create, easy to deploy, and you need, let's say, a whole web developer team to make it happen for your particular business. But when we create short video tutorials where, like, in 1 minute I'm talking to the camera and explaining like 5 easy steps how to create an AI agent, and as example I'm using our platform, we receive like, wow, that's so easy, that's so cool, and I will consider trying your platform because it's so easy.
Nice. Yeah, sounds like it's content that is really engaging and relevant to solving the problems of your target audience, which are the customer success and support people.
Yes.
Now let's talk a bit about some of the biggest bottlenecks or constraints that you have faced while trying to grow Intelswift. What have been the biggest ones that stand out to you?
So the biggest challenges, I think the biggest challenges are to find the ICP, the like your ideal customer profile, because we understand that we are, first of all, right now, customer experience and customer support, it's the field that every business need, right? If you sell something, then you need to support your clients, or when you are selling something, there's going to be your prospect, your leads, who are going to have questions. Again, it's about the same things, so they're going to answer they're going to ask you the same questions, and you need to answer the same things, and we can automate it, right? So we understand that, oh my god, we can go to any niche, any vertical. But that was at the beginning of our journey with Intelswift. We didn't know where to go, and that was the challenge, to narrow down our ICP, to understand industry what specific industry we're gonna suit best, what needs we're gonna industry needs we're gonna cover the best with the solution that we have right now. For instance, we understand that we found our ICP as SaaS companies, and we always what we are saying, we are a customer zero for SaaS companies, because we are a SaaS company, right? And whatever we are facing, another SaaS companies potentially are facing the same problem. So we know that, like, from the inside out, and that's what the challenge: how to define ICP, and learn about your ICP. Another challenge, maybe as a startup, when you're still a small team, it's like you always feel that you need to, as a co-founder especially, you always feel that you need to work 24/7 because the market is so demanding and the industry is so demanding. Every day, I believe that every day there is some new ideas, some new startups, some new AI startups, and sometimes you feel that, oh my God, you need to just, to work so fast just to stay competitive on the market. So I think that's the other challenge that I personally ever face.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, then can you share more about what have been the steps that you took to, address some of these problems, which is, the narrowing down of the ICP as well as just trying to prioritize, I guess, to not work 24/7 all the time.
Yeah. So in terms of how to overcome the challenges, when it comes to the first one that I said about ICP, just go and talk to these ICPs. It's like super, super simple, but also super hard at the same time because where are you gonna find these people or how to approach them, how to gather all these insights. But that's about cost dev interviews. And last summer, actually, we made a lot of cost dev interviews. That's how we shaped our company. And it helped us so much. Basically, it helps us survive the competition. Yeah, in terms of ICP, just go and talk and try to get people on the call. And it's not about selling call, it's not about like, hey, please jump on the call and I gotta sell you Intelswift. No, it's like, please jump on the call and share your experience, share your insights, maybe your concerns, maybe the problems you're facing and how you would love to solve them, and then ask if Intelswift might actually solve all of the needs of this particular person and particular ICP. So that's how we overcame our challenges in terms of ICPs. But in terms of 24/7, as I'm saying, it's a more co-founder problem. And I just understand that I need to rest sometimes,
Maybe,
to
I guess
recover.
you raise the question like, what do you think are the biggest priorities that you need to work on in the business right now that's able to drive the most amount of leverage or growth?
Yeah, absolutely. So from my perspective, the most important part right now it's a focus on the product, on the features, right, on the value prop, and
Mhm.
how we solve the problems for our ICP. So how we meet their problems and how easily or not easily maybe right now we are solving it. And like, let's say here's a product, here's the ICP, and it should be like that. So that's my main focus, that we, whenever I'm gonna talk to a new lead, right, new prospect, and I will hear the problem they want to solve in their customer support, I will understand that we meet all the requirements that they want to have for the platform like we are right now. So that's my goal. So whenever I will talk, and that's about product development, right? It's about shaping your product, getting like new features, even some small features, not like a huge ones, but that's about this usability, simplicity, the comfort, how people gonna, sign into Intelswift and realize that, oh, it's easy to use, easy to set up, everything is understandable. So that's my main focus is right now, to make the platform super user friendly, I would say super easy to work, and super easy to deploy AI agents. So then there won't be any misunderstandings when someone is signing in by themselves, without any onboarding calls, anything like that, and just person just signs in and can easily navigate by himself or herself.
Yeah, cool. Sounds like it's a lot more focusing on the product development right now and just trying to get it aligned with what the customer needs. So I also like to ask my guests this hypothetical question. If you had a magic wand to fix one thing in the business right now that is either holding you back or slowing down your progress to get to your goals, what would that one thing be?
Well, let's assume if I can just say I want to be this fixed, um, I think operations, because for me operation management, all this stuff when it comes to operations is kind of boring stuff when you need to take care of your business. And it's not just about some strategy, some creativity, some new approaches, how to, like this a part of this exciting part of the business, but there's also operation management when you need to run a company. So that what I would be just do that with, as you said, this magic trick that and it's done forever. So that's one thing.
Interesting. I had a previous guest as well that mentioned something similar about wanting to remove like admin stuff, like the taxes,
Yeah.
the finance, to focus on other important things in the business. So that's
Yeah.
interesting.
So I feel the same. I'm on the same page.
Cool. Yeah, so now let's talk a bit about what are the trends or shifts that you're seeing in your industry right now, and then how is that impacting the growth of Intelswift?
So if we are talking about the trends in customer support, customer experience. So all the trends are about AI right now. I would say most of the trends, because first, and why? Because every customers are becoming more impatient. They want to get the reply so fast. They want to get to the, let's say, website and get the answer right away from the one point. They don't want to jump from one, channel to another. They don't want to wait in line. So that's a trend that is really important for us, and we are actually giving with our platform companies can meet this trend, that the customer is super demanding and want to get the fast responses. So that's trend number one. And because of this, AI is the only thing that can handle this problem, can handle this trend. Because if you're gonna just add a new, let's assume that you are a brand and you're having, I don't know, like 100 of queries per day, and everything is handled by your support team. That means that if if you want to grow, you need to add a new headcount, you need to add new support reps in order to maintain the same good level of service. But with AI, you don't need to do that anymore, because you can just set up an AI agent once, right? And I'm not talking like once and that's all. You always need to improve it as well. And it's great because AI agents are becoming smarter with the time when it operates inside your business. So you can just deploy AI agent, and that's gonna fix your problem with this trend. So yes, all the trends are basically flying around the demands of the customer, the self-service, even self-service. I realized recently that there is a trend that people want to do the self-service, but they don't want to look through the help centers with the huge articles, etc. They don't want to wait for a support rep to jump into conversation. They don't want to email. They don't want to wait for like email that gonna and get replies in 24 hours. They just want it right now, self-service. And that's again about AI agents, because AI agent can answer just immediately in a few seconds. I don't know if it's some sort of tutorial, then it's gonna give you this step-by-step guide, what to do, answer any of your questions in any language that you need, and you don't even need a human for that. So that's let's say main trends. There, of course, there's more trends, but I won't take more time on trends because I can talk about that forever.
Yeah, no worries. I think, those are probably the biggest ones that you think are really important for your sector. And that brings us actually to the conclusion of the podcast. So, Oksana, once again, thank you for your time to do all of this and sharing this valuable insights with our audience. It's a pleasure to have you here with us on the show today.
Thank you, Bruce, again. I hope that our podcast will be really useful for someone who is listening. And yeah, happy to share my insights.
Thank you.